0 teachers, all AI. Would you send your children to this school? Will AI replace teachers in the future? In this video, I'm going to discuss the possibility in light of a particular school in Texas that claims AI is the only teacher at the school. Make sure that you listen all the way to the end, because I'll also reveal some shocking comments made by Reddit experts that you don't want to miss out on. So let's take a look at this AI-driven school. The school that we're looking at today is called Alpha School, and it was recently highlighted on today.com. As you can see, the headline here says, "No teachers, no homework, school solely uses AI to teach students." There's not much written about it, but the bulk of the article is actually in this news report, as you can see in this video at the top. And I'm just going to show you a few stills here. You can see this student here with a lighter. I hope that he is following safety procedures. You can, you can see the fire there. So experimenting, and you can see here in this image, this young girl climbing a rock wall. This is part of their program. You can see some students here making some burgers. Looks pretty good. Here you got students flying drones. Just some activities that really you would not see in a traditional school. Clearly experimental here, and in this still you see one of the AI assisted softwares that students use, and students with headphones on working on computers while someone just kind of watches and monitors them. More of that. There's a picture here that shows students. This guy right here, he actually is running an Airbnb. So there's a group of students that run an Airbnb, and they're learning entrepreneurial skills. Here, this is a still. There's a girl in the video who she has developed an AI software that gives dating advice. Lots of things going on here. Lots of things. Okay, so very interesting type of school. And again, one of the questions I have is, would you send your children, or would you advocate for students to go to a school like this? Now, I had to do a deep dive into this to really verify all these claims and all this information that I was being told from this news report. And one of the first places that I went was to the website to learn more about Alpha School. So Alpha School is in Austin, Texas. I believe in Austin they have a K through 8th school, and then there's a high school, and there are other schools in a couple of other cities. But here is their homepage, and you can see again they've got clearly a really great marketing campaign showing off all the things that students are doing, working in laboratory settings and doing all kinds of things, public speaking, painting, all this crazy stuff. And here are their 3 commitments. Love school. Alpha students love school. They don't just tolerate it. Number 2, learned 2 times in 2 hours. Alpha students learn faster than students in standard school while still ranking in the top 1% nationwide. And 3rd, learn life skills. With our 2-hour learning program, students get their afternoons back to develop critical life skills and explore passions. So one of the big selling points or marketing points of this school is the 2 times faster learning in 2 hours. And mind you, it is with AI. So let's actually look at their program and see what this program entails. If you go to the program page, it tells you that at Alpha School, their school day looks a bit different than a standard school. At a standard school, students would sit in class for 6 hours a day. But at Alpha School, students sit in class for 2 hours using AI assisted software, and then for the other 4 hours, they spend the school day in workshops that are workshops on subjects or genres such as life skills, financial literacy, entrepreneurship, public speaking, grit, resilience, and embracing failure. So, reading into this and just reviewing exactly what this means, like I said, the first 2 hours of the school day are spent with AI assisted software. So in that video, I showed you students sitting at desks with headphones on, working on computers. They get differentiated instruction from whatever computer programs they're running, which I'm not sure of. And then after that, they have 4 hours to explore whatever their interests are. Similar to, the Montessori type thing, structure. But, and here it tells you that they have a 2 + 4 hours of students' day that's filled with learning, value, skills, and joy. All right. You got to put joy in there, or else it's not learning. But so that's how this is done. And the other thing, again, if you read into this, the school only uses AI to teach the core subjects. So that 2 hours is spent on core subject material, all with AI. So there are no teachers. What they have are alpha guides. And these guides, they are not certified teachers, not trained teachers. I don't know exactly what kind of training they have. Beyond what is told here on the website, but that's one of their big marketing points, is that they're using AI. They don't need teachers. Okay? School doesn't need teachers. And here they are. Meet our guides. They are mentors, coaches, and champions. Not necessarily teachers. Except for this first up here, Alex Kaiser, maybe. It says she's an educator, public speaking coach, and communications scholar with over a decade of experience. She helps with communication skills. That's under hers. Here it says this girl, or this lady here, says that she stood by Alpha since day one. She's one of the first guides. She's just dedicated to inspiring students every day. That's her qualification. And this guy down here, he says 12+ years of experience, including a championship track career and coaching background. He aims to inspire limitless achievements with his funny, motivational, and high energy personality. Okay. Now, I'm not discrediting anyone here. Okay. I don't know. I can't speak for any of these people. I haven't met them. I don't know what they're like in person. But again, these are the guides. These are the type of people that are working there. And for all I know, it could be an excellent model. It could be great. But I'm just putting it out there because at the start of this video, I asked, will AI replace teachers in the future? And it seems that if this type of model works, then yes, it is possible. You don't have to be a certified teacher to work in a school, because AI will do most of the teaching for you. And then you have coaches to just kind of, keep going and all that sort of thing. Because that's what it shows in the marketing. That's the kind of, just go watch the videos for yourself. Okay. The last thing that I want to look at on the website is that they do claim to have some very high student achievement levels. So it says here under the results page that our results speak for themselves. Alpha students achieve 2.6 times more growth compared to their peers. It says here the top 20% of alpha students reached new heights with a 6.5% growth rate. It also says the majority of students score in the 99th percentile nationwide. And one of the assessment measures that they use is surveys. All right. As it says here, student surveys. Okay. And they say that 90% of alpha students express wanting more school time. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Wanting more school time. As far as standardized tests, students take nationally normed MAP growth tests in the fall, winter, and spring. We track both individual growth and cohort performance relative to national averages. Okay, so clearly the results, as they say, speak for themselves. And I did watch a video on the website which talked about they actually showed the scores and they compared the growth rates at their schools with other schools. So there's a lot of great information here, a lot of good things. And admissions. There's not much to say here. They don't tell you exactly how much it costs on the website to go to the school, but in the news report, in the video, they said that it costs $40,000 per year for each student. So tuition is $40,000 a year. That is a starting salary for most teachers. A starting salary. That's a lot of money. And if you have the money to send your students, to send your children to a school like this, then go ahead. But I have some major thoughts on this that I'm just going to throw out there to give you some things to think about. And I would also love, as I go through this, for you to maybe pause the video and share your thoughts. Leave your comments in the comment section below, and go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel if you are new to the channel, so that you don't miss out on any classroom camp content. But I'm going to go through my ideas here real quick and then talk about what I saw from the Redditors, all right, what they had to say about Alpha School. So here are my quick thoughts. The news reports and the marketing campaign, all the stuff that you see on the website especially, looks great. You got kids dressed up in chef outfits looking like they're going to MasterChef Kids Edition. You got students, again, climbing rock walls, creating software, running an Airbnb, looking like young professionals, okay, on The Apprentice or something. And all the marketing looks great. And especially I would like to focus in on the news report, because I have had the experience of being at schools that have had the local news channel come out and visit them. So I've heard stories, but I've also personally witnessed how things go. And let me tell you that what a school looks like on a regular day versus what is captured in a news report is night and day. Okay? On a regular day, not everyone is on their A game. Okay? You got fights breaking out sometimes, depending on the school. You got fights breaking out, students roaming the hallway, teachers hanging out in the teacher's lounge, classes out of control, students in detention, being loud, all this crazy stuff happening. But then as soon as you get the news or word hits the hallway that the news is coming to film and all this stuff, everybody tightens up. Everybody tightens up. And, hey, make sure we can't have students out in the hallway because the news is coming. Or we can't do this because the news is going to be filming. We need you to be quiet over here. Get control of your kids over here because the news is going to be filming this classroom. And hey, students, the news is coming in, so we need you to do this. We need y'all to be doing this over here, okay? Make it look like you're working on this activity, this and that. It is scripted and highly acted out. So when I see this news report here, I'm instantly skeptical. And for all I know, that could be what it looks like on a normal day at Alpha School. But just based on my experience and what I've seen, things are not always as they seem. And this marketing is what it is. It's marketing. It's going to make them look great. So it is what it is. But this doesn't convince me. What is shown in the news and that sort of stuff does not convince me at all. And I'm not saying that this isn't a great school, but I'm skeptical of everything that I'm seeing. And that includes some of the claims made about students learning faster. Because when you are charging $40,000 a year for students to attend this school, and this is a private school, so they're not getting public funding, so they have to charge. They have to have a fee for tuition. So understandable, but realize that the demographic that you are catering to are parents and people who have the money. Only students who have the money or some special circumstances are going to be able to attend this school. And for me, coming from being a private tutor into the public school system, I've worked with children and I've seen the types of parents who are willing to put their children in private tutoring and to go to extreme lengths to get their children the best education. And here's what I found is that a lot of students spend a lot of time outside of school doing extra work. So it's not always the school itself that is responsible for students' growth and achievement, but it is the lifestyle and the demands placed on students by the parents that sometimes leads to that overachievement or those high test scores and whatnot. I showed you that a typical school day at Alpha School is 2 hours using AI-assisted software, learning the core subject areas, and then there are 4 hours spent in workshops. That's what it looks like at the school. But again, parents are paying $40,000 for their students to go to this school. And if I were a parent, and I'm sure that some parents are this way, you've got that 2 hours, then you got 4 hours to, as the school says themselves, for students to explore their passions and things of that nature, to have more hands-on activities. But what about the schooling that happens after school? If you can spend $40,000, you can spend maybe a couple of extra thousand on a private tutor to work with your kids outside of school as well. And what I'm saying is that a lot of the parents that I've seen that want to put their kids in private school or focus on education, they are those parents that are going to put their kids, they're going to supplement their child's education with private tutoring or just other things outside of school. So sure, you can say that the students that go to Alpha School are in the top 1% or whatnot, but is it the school program itself, or is it the demographic and the type of parent that you're dealing with and the schedules they create for their kids that is truly what creates this high achievement? So that's something. And not only that, but I have seen how test scores are manipulated. And I hate to say this, and I'm not calling out anyone in specifically, but I have seen the situation where teachers at the beginning of the school year, they have told me that the strategy on tests such as MAP, which Alpha School says that they use, they say, at the beginning of the year, we don't want to review the material, because if the students do really well at the beginning of the year and then don't do as well in the middle of the year when they're more fatigued, then we don't get to show any growth. So some teachers do things like that to manipulate the data. They intentionally will not teach students certain skills, or will not like review those skills. Not that they don't teach them, but they won't like prepare them for the assessment, just so they can show growth. And that's all tied into, you know, how their performance is as a teacher, because you've got the states looking and wanting to see teacher performance and all this stuff. And that's a whole other thing we could look at. But I have seen how these things are manipulated. So scores alone do not necessarily convince me. Data is important, but it's not the end all and be all. And the last thing is that we're already using AI in schools. You know, a lot of people are wondering, will AI replace teachers in the future? I mean, it seems like we've only scratched the surface of AI's potential, and it does almost seem inevitable. In many schools, students are already using educational technologies such as Zern, MobyMax, Lexia PowerUp, which continually assess students and provide them with differentiated instruction. And although these tools may not resemble the stereotypical Big Brother kinds of artificial intelligence that we see on movies and television, they are still, in fact, versions of AI. And so I don't see a just major AI takeover of schools like it's something that just happens suddenly. I think that we are already seeing AI being used in schools with, you know, teachers stepping in to facilitate instruction and still teach students, but in a different kind of way. Especially when it comes to intervention courses and things like that. AI is very, very useful. But I don't know if AI will fully take over all teachers' jobs in the future. And that's a question that I would like you to answer, to speak on. So if you would, please leave your comments down in the comment section below and let us know what you think. But before I go here, I do want to look at some of the fun Reddit comments that I found. So let's take a look here. So we had, let's see. All right. Here is this Reddit thread. It says, a school with no teachers, Alpha private school in Austin lets AI teach core subjects. And this post was from a year ago. Here's what Spacey says. He says, $40,000 a year. The high school is unaccredited, created by a guy with a business degree. I guess it might be a good fit for someone, but we'll stick with our excellent public school. Someone here, Fright Instructor, replied and said, could hire a tutor for that, but it's okay. They're on financial assistance, so it's scamming the state or Fed, not the individual. So what they're saying is that, yeah, you know, you could hire a tutor. You could send students to public school, probably hire a tutor, pay for some of those AI assisted softwares, and if you want someone there to just facilitate the instruction, you could do it that way as well. And I actually agree with that. Gallo says, a $40,000 a year private school with AI instruction. What a ripoff. If you want to go that route, you could just homeschool your kid with AI. They've got a point. Here they have linked some article. It says, so in other words, a tech bro-ette who fancies herself an expert just because she went to a school that's now amassing a track record of recently churning out scandals and grifters. That's Captham. Here is whoever this user is, their name is deleted. I foresee a massive resentment towards technology from future generations as a result of things like this. No interpersonal communication skills. Horrible, horrible idea. Well, I mean, in the video, if it is to be believed, students did work together, and they do have a guide, an alpha guide. So there is some interpersonal development. I think that homeschooling would be worse in that regard. Here is Flop Shanubi says, if you want to understand why selling education as a product instead of including it as an essential service for a stable society is a great idea, I give you this story. And yeah, I think that that is a good point. Education as a product, and that's a lot of what we're seeing, especially with a lot of these education technologies that are seemingly popping up all over the place. So yeah, on and on, on and on. Shred Miyagi just says, "Good Lord." But you can go and just read all these comments here. For the most part, a lot of people are not in favor of this, don't think that it's a great idea, and just kind of like, yeah, this seems like a waste of money, seems like a scam, and I can't speak to that personally, but I am skeptical. What about you? What do you think about Alpha School? Let me know in the comment section down below. Also, make sure that you like this video if you like this kind of content, and if you're new to the channel, make sure that you support the channel by subscribing, and so you can stay up to date on all the content put out by Classroom Camp. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time.